Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another episode of Street Journals. This video of Street Journals is definitely a more behind the scenes point of view style video. I sometimes feel when I'm concentrating on the production quality of these videos, I really sort of struggle to come up with really nice street photos. So I think one thing that I want to experiment with in the future is creating more point of view style videos, just going out with literally my GoPro, my main DSLR, and maybe my DJI Osmo Pocket, just to create really nice raw behind the scenes footage that I can piece together to create a more informative video and also come away with some great street photos, which is entirely the aim of this series. So the images that I managed to capture in this video are actually going to be part of a larger project which is all about London's West End. I have a deep sort of family connection with the West End. I grew up listening to West End soundtracks and going to West End shows. Both my parents are both heavily involved in the West End music side of things, and I just love it. I love it so much, and I love the architecture around there. I love the characters that you find around there. And it's quite touristy, it's quite popular, but if you go down some of the side streets, you can find some really gorgeous and interesting scenes. Not too far from there, you have Leicester Square and also Chinatown. You can also move up towards Oxford Street and Tottenham Court Road. So there's an absolute wealth of photographic opportunities around the area. So a really plentiful day of street photography, which is really refreshing. I sometimes get very much stuck in a rut. I sometimes find myself very, very uninspired and sort of put down by that. So it was really nice to get out and get some really cool street photos. So pause this video, go make yourself a quick coffee, come back and watch the following behind the scenes footage, and I hope you enjoy it. Right, we've got the gloves on. It's getting cold. So after some feedback about this series, a lot of people said that they really enjoyed the sit-down talk at the end of the video and me running through my favourite images from that day. So I thought I'd reintroduce that into this series and run you through my favourite images from that day. I'm only going to talk about 3 because I want to keep this video relatively short. However, if you want to see more images, head over to my Instagram page. I'm at @SamBHolt, and I will be putting up a blog post about this shoot at some point on my website, which will be linked in the description below. So the first image that I want to talk about isn't really how I would consistently style my photography. It's very much a modern take on street photography, and I really like this image actually. It's not something that I would necessarily pull off on a day-to-day basis, however, I think it's come away really nicely. So I noticed that the sunlight was reflecting off this building and casting some really nice shadows, and also this sort of red paper thing in the doorway, and I really liked it. I thought the reflection coming off it was really interesting. Everything sort of seemed to fade to black and white when you're paying attention to the red colour, and you will notice that in this video I think all of these images contain some sort of flash of red, which is quite interesting. Maybe it's a colour that I'm getting more and more drawn to, but for this image I think it works really well. I don't think it would have worked with any other colour. So I've stayed in this spot for a few minutes. I just wanted to fire off a few images of people walking by and getting their silhouettes. I really like the fact that one foot is on the ground and one foot is on the move. It really adds to that element of movement, despite it being sort of framed and set in a building, which is quite cool. The second image that I want to talk about is shot in Trafalgar Square. I'm not actually sure where the previous image was shot, but I don't think it was far from Trafalgar Square. However, this image was shot right outside the National Portrait Gallery, and I think a lot of photographers try and convey a sense of timelessness in their images, and I definitely feel that this image has that sense of timelessness, which is really cool. The only thing that stands out for me is the guy in the background wearing the white trainers. There's a couple of people with white trainers, but apart from that, the architecture and the style, I edited it in a black and white style because I think that it really suited this image. The light and the classic architecture make this image really timeless. The only thing that doesn't make it timeless is that the guy is literally scrolling on his phone, which I didn't realise until I literally exported this image and viewed it full screen. Slightly rookie mistake of me not to notice that, but even so, I don't think the general person would notice that. And I think that the overall style of this image is really nice. I like the black and white edit, and like I said, the light that day was so nice. Nice long shadows, really warm light. That's obviously not pervading this image because it's black and white, but you sort of get that sense. It's sort of like that crisp winter warm light, and I think it just looks really nice. And then the final image is the image shot just outside the Curzon Theatre. So if the Curzon Theatre is behind me, this image was shot over the road, and I think the light from the sun was reflecting off the Curzon Theatre and creating this like really nice golden light on the fire station. And I think it just looks really stunning. It's a bit of a trendy street photograph. It's definitely like a YouTube street photographer kind of thing to shoot, but I think it works really well. The colours and everything really pop, and these two people, again, they're not looking at their phones or anything, they're just reading a map. They're standing outside what I would consider like a classic looking fire station. It's not, you know, one of these big ugly glass ones. It's still got the old school red doors, and the fire station keep clear text on the ground below is really cool. It's a nice detail. I'd love to see it printed big. I just think, yeah, it's a really nice image. And photography is a little bit like music. Some people prefer one style, some people prefer another, but at the end of the day, if it looks/sounds good and makes you feel a particular way, then you've done your job as a photographer. And I think this definitely resonates with me. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the colours, the composition, nice big bold image. I think it works really well. So those are my 3 photos that I just wanted to very briefly talk about. If you want to see more of this kind of sit down content, then be sure to let me know. If you want to have a more sit down critique video with me, then don't hesitate to send me an email. I'll leave my email in the description below for you if you want to book a one-on-one critique session with me. But I think I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this more raw POV behind the scenes style video. This is something that I really want to work on in the future. Be sure to follow me on social media. My name is @SamVHolt on all social media platforms. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel for future videos. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.